So Peg, K, and Langhorne, new mowing customer this year. Scope of work's going to be mulch install, a lot of trimming, digging out some bushes, ripping out some small little bushes, trimming up some branches of low branches of trees. Definitely a good amount of work here to do. So just, watch carefully on the video, rewatch it if you have to. I walked and spoke with the husband for a good 20 minutes probably around the whole property. The wife was not home. I definitely would say that they have a green thumb. They know all their plants. They know kind of what's going on. Very in tune with everything. So definitely want to attention to detail. If in doubt, check in. I did let the husband know. I'll try to schedule it when he's here. So if there's any question on something, you can check in with him on it. Or if his wife says something different about something, they can get an answer. So if you're a little bit in doubt, just check in with him. He's a cool dude. He just kind of particular with all the different landscaping. So I'll start up front and walk around the property. So starting up front, obviously our usual bed prep. Beds need a really good rake out of, there's a lot of debris and droppings and things of that sort. So it's in need of a really good spring cleanup. Definitely a good amount of bed prep. Not crazy with the weeds per se, but the beds just need a good rake and things of that sort. So starting up front. So this large hosta here, he wants dug out completely, the dark green one, and removed. And then light trimming of this tree. And then this one he kind of wants like thinned out. So what I would say is basically wants the whole thing kind of shrunk down. So you can do a combination of, trimming. What I would do is probably take hedge clippers and cut like around the corners of it to shrink it down because it's just getting too large. And then you may have to even probably take like a shovel and dig out like the actual root of it. Hosta's kind of spread real wide. Just trimming it probably wouldn't do it, but you need to actually like dig out the root and get rid of it. So this one you can kind of just trim back this stuff off the walkway. These three you can trim up and just give them some shape. Just kind of shrink them down a little bit. One thing he did mention too a couple times is just make sure, because he said landscaper did it in the past, so make sure not, and we know this already, but just a reminder, do not pile mulch up against the house. And he likes it how it is, basically 2 to 3 inches away from the siding of the house. Don't like cake the mulch right here along the house. You can trim this one back off the walkway a little bit. This one looks okay. This one's okay. You could probably just trim this off the walkway a little bit. This you can give it a little trim and shape. This one, same deal as the one over there. You're going to kind of like shrink it down a little bit. This area, so you have these like tall ornamental grass plants here. There's kind of like 3 of them. You can see there's one here, one here, one here. Dig out and remove these 2. Leave this one alone. This small grassy type here, going to keep it, just going to kind of shrink it down. So obviously blow out these leaves and debris and bed prep. You're going to leave these alone, but I would dig out and cut out and down this grassy stuff here, all of the grassy stuff here, and then a little bit here. So like end vision would be you'll have this little bit of grassy stuff kind of all here. You'll have one of those and that'll be the same, but there'll be a little bit of separation between them with, visible mulch in between them. The other thing you made note of, just be careful not to pile mulch on top of the rocks. He likes to have those as a border. Some of it you might even have to blow off. There's already some mulch that kind of washed onto them, so kind of blow them off. But similar to here, you got the stone here. Just make sure not to put mulch onto here, obviously. These trees are his, so rake them out, pick up the sticks. He did say like don't need a lot of mulch on these. He typically kind of just like rakes it out and cleans it up and puts a real thin layer. I missed it too, but that tree, put some mulch around it. He said just don't like pile the mulch around a volcano around the base type of thing. Just keep it like real low, not a ton there. Before I go here, I'll go back to this spot. So this is kind of like, he's go with it mostly like a natural kind of ivy look type of deal, which he's all good with. So you don't have to do too much The only things he mentioned was this tree. It's like a little maple leaf tree that's sprouting up, basically a weed. Just yank that out. This tree, probably just a pickaxe. Dig that one out, rip that out. This one right here, pretty tall. Dig that out, rip it out. This, I forget what he called it, but this one, you basically want it more straight up and down, so just like trim it. But he basically said like all the branches that are aiming sideways, cut them and leave only the branches that are going upward. So you probably best bet will be go in there with instead of just hedge clipping it here, go in with like hand snips, actually get into the base and cut the ones that are like shooting outward. Any ones that are shooting this way, just snip them completely and get them out. And then some of these ones that are questionable, you can just do the hedge clipping. Basically, you want to just close it into just the mulch bed. And actually, this is like a vine weedy growth that's kind of like choking it out, growing up in it. So just rip that out and get rid of it. Be careful, it's a little thorny in some spots. So just tear that out. Moving back to here, same thing. This one is not supposed to be here, so you can rip this thing out. Then the ivy's cool, you can leave the ivy alone, but these like tall weedy straight up ones, yank them out. Basically yank all those growing along the fence line. There's like that big one here, a big one right there, all that, just one's yanked out. But the ground ivy, you can keep it alone, and then you'll need a little bit of mulch back here. So I'll go to this spot next. Alright. Over here, nothing crazy, just a little bit of bed prep, clean up, mulch. Again, reminder not to pile it up along the house, leave that gap from the siding to the ground. Trim and shape this azalea up. Alright, coming back to here, mulch up in here, all good. Coming to this spot, so again, this is where attention to detail is going to come in, but blow out these, grassies a little bit. You got leaves and stuff, just blow them out really good. There's some sticks and stuff in there to get out, right? So get all that out. I would take a string trimmer, lightly manicure the sides, edge this out here, edge it along the walkway. And then the one thing that we typically don't do, but we're going to do because he mentioned it, typically we have like these grass kind of just growing up through it. Usually we just take a string trimmer, manicure it, call it a day. But this one, he wants them to not come back. So I said what we can do is kind of come in here. So before you hit it with string trimmer, you'll see these grass ones that are popping up. Just grab them, try to get down low, and then pull them out. So you'll literally pull the root out. And that way they hopefully shouldn't come back. But do that. There's only a couple in here. There's more in the other spot. And then any like dead grassy stuff that's in here, just pull that out. So do that, and then you can manicure it up or do whatever you want. But make sure to do that before you just go hitting it. Because I know he'll call us out later if it comes back. Then all these little growths that are popping off the tree, just take like hand snips, probably is the best, the Fisker grips, and just snip all this stuff. So anything that is growing, like these little shoots popping off, just get them as close to the base of the tree and cut them. So ideally you don't see any of this leafy stuff, it's all tree, and then you only see leafy stuff higher. So just snip off all them shoots, like all these shoots popping off of the branches, snip them as close to the branch as you can. So clean up that area with some hand snips. Kind of the same stuff going on over here. I'm going to do the same process with the tree there. Over here, looks like he had some of this stuff die out, but this kind of naturally spreads over time. So I said, we'll just kind of rake out the beds, rake out the leaves and debris. We'll weed out whatever, and then over time it should slowly fill in. This area needs less of a trimming. There's some sticks to clean up, things of that sort. Obviously edge out all around it and mulch it. Over here you have more of these grassies, a lot more in this area. Try to yank them out at the root like we just talked about. Over in here you got a ton of leaves and stuff, so this whole area got like butchered, he said, by the last landscaper. So we just want to blow out this area, leaves and debris, and then this stuff should slowly spread and clean up. This holly tree here, so he wants it trimmed up, shape of a Christmas tree, basically all around. So trim and shape it up all around. You'll see it's getting close to the house, so trim and shape. The one other thing he said to do, which is a little bit particular, I guess, he was saying he doesn't like it to get too thick. Otherwise, he notices like fungus starts growing when it gets too thick and not like any air to breathe. So first you can go in, do the trimming like a Christmas tree, but then take those Fisker grips again. You know, come in handy on this job. And he said go in here and kind of randomly, sporadically snip up some branches. Like just cut the branch close to the root, or close to the base of the tree, and then pull them out, and just kind of do that randomly, maybe 20 or so different branches or plus. You may notice there'll be like some holes everywhere. After you do it, it'll actually initially probably look a little bit worse than when you first trim it up, but long-term health of it, he said, should be good because it allows more airflow and sunlight to kind of get in there, and it's just healthier for it. You'll end up getting more like, you know, fruit and stuff like that growing off of it. So like berries. Anyway, so that's that. If you're in doubt about it, like, just get with them. But that's basically that. I'm gonna do this side of the house. I'm gonna go back there. Over here, just trim and shape these. Trim and shape. This one right here is not supposed to be here, so just yank that out. I don't think he wanted this trimmed, so you can leave that alone. Before I keep walking that way, I'm gonna go over here. Apparently he said there's a stump here. I couldn't really find it, but he said it's buried under there. So we'll have PG possibly grind that up. But you just clean this bed up and mulch it. Thin layer of mulch. This one, stump. Same thing here. Just like clean up prep. A little bit of thin layer of mulch. Alright, all these trees, blue spruces, there's like, I think there's 2 down there, there's 1 here, there's 2 here. What he wants done is cut the basically lowest tier of branches, cut them out completely. So like, I would take, let's say maybe 6 inches from the ground. So go to the base of the tree, and then these branches that are like 6 inches to maybe a foot and up, cut them out and pull them out and haul them away. Basically saying like raise up the whole tree a little bit, so all those low branches that are like on the ground, just get them out of there. And then once you do that, it'll also be easier, but there's a ton of like leaves and debris, so rake them out, clean them up, blow them out, haul them away, and then fresh mulch underneath. Clean up and mulch there. I don't know if this is the one that had this stump. This area is really heavy with the debris, and he knows that. And this whole bed's him, so it's real thick here, the debris. So haul that away, clean all that out, rake it up. Best bet's to pull the dump really close to this, shorten your walking time. Yeah, clear all this out, and then same concept, you know, raise up the lower branches here. No need to cut anything here, just on the blue spruce. Just clean up the beds and then mulch this whole area. And then obviously you have mulch around all the trees. Those trees are his as well. Again, don't leave like you can see it kind of, leave right around the base of the tree clear of mulch. Don't cause it a volcano. Don't like pile the mulch up. You're gonna choke at the base of the tree. That's for all the trees. Alright. Moving over to here. Alright, so this one, trim and shape it. Basically said the same thing as the holly over there, like get in there and kind of snip out random branches. He said just get with me on this one if the guys are not sure what I mean by that, but kind of same concept. Go in there with Fiskers and kind of snip up random branches and haul them out. Try to thin it out a little bit. Can leave that alone. Can lightly trim that. Same concept here. Trim the low branches, rake out the debris. You know, same as the blue spruce here, and then mulch it. This tree, don't worry about it. He's gonna get it removed. It's all dying and busted up. So don't worry about that. So lightly trim that, lightly trim that. And then the other blue spruce is the same concept. Trim up the low branches and rake out the beds. And all of this you can leave alone. That one you can lightly trim up. And then we're back around front, and that's it.